if you don't have money, it means you can't be successful, or it means that you don't have opportunities. Hi guys, my name is andiswa.mojapelo and welcome to my channel. If it is your first time here, thank you so much for stopping by. I really hope that you like it here and you decide to stay. We chat about all things related to money and adulting in general. And if you are subscribed and returning, thank you so much for the support. I really do hope that you also enjoyed today's video because we are having a sit down chat. So guys, we're obviously growing, which I really appreciate, right? And I was thinking to myself that if I was outside looking in, I would be wondering, why is this lady so obsessed with money? If she is not speaking about it at an event, she is creating a video. If she's not creating a video, she's writing about it. Where does this obsession come from? And I thought to myself, let me answer this question, right? And let me let people know where this obsession comes from with being obsessed with financial freedom, talking about money, personal finance, and all those things. So like every good story, we need a background. When I was 3.5 years old, almost 4, but definitely before 5, my uncle and aunt, that is my mom's brother and his wife, they decided that, God bless their souls, absolutely amazing people that I till this day refer to as mom and dad because they raised me practically. But they decided that they would take me in and I would move to Durban with them when I was about 4 years old or close to 4 years old, right? And this decision would change the rest of my life, I believe, according to me. But they decided, I'm sure they decided for the same reasons that I think they decided, which was to create opportunities, to make sure I grew up in a good environment, a good neighborhood, had good opportunities. But nonetheless, as to what made them decide this, they did. And then off I moved to Durban and away from my mom around the age of 4, right? Now, I was still very young, guys, but from the age of 5 and 6, when I started creche and preschool, I could already see a significant difference in the environment that I was in versus the environment that I came from that I could have easily grew up in, right? I could see the difference in terms of the type of homes that were there, the facilities, the local parks, the schools, and all of those things. I was exposed to an entire different world, not only because two individuals who are very kind-hearted decided to make a decision, but also because they were able to make that decision. They were in a financial position to make that decision. They were in an environment that allowed them to provide those type of opportunities to people like me. And from a very young age, I could already see the difference between environments, neighborhoods, backgrounds, levels of education, etc. Because I still had friends, although very young, from back home where I came from, and I had friends in this new environment. And I promise you, in as much as it is just 2 provinces, but every time I would visit home during the holidays, every time I would go and visit, I could significantly see what the difference was. The conversations were different. We sounded different, right? Because I began to communicate in a language that we were communicating it in, which was English, when I was in that environment. So even the way that I would speak was different, what I was into was different. And as I began to develop interests, they were also different. And from a very young age, I began to basically see the more relationships developed and the more I grew older, then our futures were sort of different as well. You know, then when I would go back home, I would find that peers of mine were pregnant at a young age, at the age of 13 or 14. I would find that, certain peers of mine were also dropping out of school, which were not things that were common where I was in, or rather in the environment that I was in. And already I was starting to make a comparison between what having basically gave you and what not having gave you, and how that influenced the type of opportunities that you would have and the type of environments that you were raised in. And that's when I began to become obsessed with building wealth, becoming financially free, and becoming successful, because I could see that money was a resource and resources provided opportunities, and opportunities also had a huge part to play in what you were able to do when it came to your future. So that's when this obsession and passion with money and building wealth and financial freedom came from. It came from seeing in my life and in the lives of those around me what money could actually do. And I'm sure listening to this, you're also thinking, sure, I never realized it that way. And although I was very young, guys, my mind began to run away with me, right? And from the early age of primary school and high school, I was already obsessed with money. I was in Stockfields, I was saving, I was trying to get a job, which I will share in another video another time. But I really, really wanted to become financially independent. And I wanted to make sure that I had resources. I wanted to make sure that I could not only take care of myself, but those around me. Because, like I said, I could witness live what type of lifestyle money could give you and what not having money could also give you. Now, I am by no means saying that if you don't have money, it means you can't be successful or it means that you don't have opportunities, but we must be realistic and honest. The amount of opportunities that you have and what you are able to do from a capability perspective is affected by how much money you have. Look at the level of schooling, sorry, not the level, but the type of school. Look at the type of university you go to and all of those other things. They do play a factor in what you are able to do, where you are able to go, what you're able to study, which then influences the type of work that you get into, etc. So that's where the obsession first started. And then it became worse when I went to varsity, right? Because when I went to university, I started doing one-on-one tutorials. Now, if you are aware of one-on-one tutorials, they are very, very expensive. And for you to be able to afford a tutor to come to your home after school at specific times that are convenient for you, it means that you do have a bit of money to throw at that, right? And I began to see that, oh my word, while some of us were going home to do chores, other kids were actually going home to be tutored in their comfortable homes, to be tutored in the comfort of their own offices, in their rooms. I'm talking kids that are really young as primary school and high school. And obviously, as a tutor who went into people's homes, I also got to see the lifestyle, the different sports that they played, the fact that they played golf at a young age, the fact that they got to play all these sports like rugby, and the fact that they were making friends and in making friends, actually making networks in those type of environments. I began to see there as well that, gosh, like money is a resource. It's an important resource because it provides opportunities. And when you have those opportunities, you are better enabled to become what you really want to become. So that's where my obsession comes from, guys. My obsession with financial freedom, with building wealth and all those type of things is not necessarily to accumulate a big amount of money so that I can buy all these houses that I never get to live in or buy all these materialistic things, but rather it's coming from a place of not only wanting to provide opportunities for myself, because it's also for me, right? I also want to have opportunities like being able to do what I want with my time when I want to do it, because I'm in a financial position that enables me to do so. So if you want to do what you love, you have to have something funding you while you are able to pursue those type of things, right? So money does that. It puts you in a comfortable position where you get to make certain decisions and choices because you can afford to do so. And that's what my obsession is about. It's about choice. It's about having decisions. It's about having opportunities. And also because I was heavily supported by the people around me, my uncle and aunt, whom are my mom and dad, according to me, they're also my parents, provided those opportunities for me because they were able to do so. And I also want to be in a position to provide those opportunities. And that's why I am conscious about how I spend money. And that's why I teach people about money and I have these conversations so that we are all in that position. And I'm not saying that you need to have the world's wealth so you can take care, the world's wealth so you can take care of everyone. It can be in the little things. Like you could be that aunt who can help someone with money to go to an interview. You could be that aunt who can help pay for someone's fees because they need to go to varsity and they want to build a future for themselves. You can be that aunt who provides accommodation in your home in a suburb so somebody is exposed to a good environment and they're able to have a good education. It's those small things that when you are in a good financial position, a healthy financial position, you are able to be that to those around you. And on that note of being part of the gang that provides opportunities, or the squad that provides and enables other people to become successful, if you are an individual right now who is faced with the challenges of black tax, and you are the giver, you are the one paying fees, you are the one providing accommodation and all of those things, I know that sometimes it can be discouraging and it can get daunting, and you can feel like your goals are not progressing because you are too busy stretching yourself thin to enable others. But I want you to think of yourself as a superhero. I believe that the people that enabled me and my success from a young age are superheroes. They are people who had hearts big enough to actually contribute towards making me successful, or giving me an opportunity to become successful, even if it meant delaying their own instant gratification. And for that, I'll be eternally grateful. So what you are doing is actually investing. And I've got my own fair share to say about black tax, because I honestly believe that if done right, it's such an amazing investment. It's such an amazing investment for you to make a few good choices so that you can enable someone else to make better choices for the rest of their lives. But we're not talking about black tax today and how to approach it in a positive manner. But I just wanted to mention that if you are in that position, you are busy sending an andiswa to school, you are busy feeding an andiswa, or you are busy taking care of an andiswa who will one day be eternally grateful, but also financially independent and able to also support others around her to enable their success. So in thinking that it's really difficult, which it is, also bear that in mind, that what you are doing is investing in somebody else, and that somebody else will not only be able to take care of themselves, but also those around them. Now, if you, on the other hand, are someone who is fortunate enough to have been a last born, so you don't necessarily have any black tax to take care of, or you are not the giver, but you were the receiver, then the responsibility is on you, as it is on me, to make sure that you make good financial decisions, you build wealth, you enable yourself, and you put yourself in a positions where you are able, when the need arises, to support those around you that you want to support and that you care about. And not only that, that you are in a position to also support yourself, to give yourself those opportunities, to enable your own success and make sure that you are achieving all of the goals that you want to achieve. So, guys, in a nutshell, that's where this passion comes from. I am obsessed about financial literacy and financial education because I strongly believe that money is a resource. Resources provide opportunities, and opportunities enable people to become the best that they can be. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, also consider doing so I can see you in the next one. Bye.